What haven't I done?
You've done the mic check?
I've done the mic check.
Run a fake punt?
The saying is the more you can do, right? Just trying to add value wherever I can.
What will you remember most about the way you played tonight?
Man, good question. I think overall, like, look, in the long run, I want to play quarterback, and so I think just being able to operate efficiently and effectively inside this offense has always been my mindset this training camp. It's fun to be able to go and add value. I think it creates some unique bonds. I got some great friends on the team, and being able to run down on kickoff and on punt return and punt and all that stuff is a ton of fun for me as well. And I think overall just being able to be out on the field in different capacities was really memorable tonight.
After a nice bounce back game, is this situation where I guess you don't want to get too high or after this week or too low after last week?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think everyone that's played the position can look back in their career and they can see highlights and they can see games. They're like, oh, man, I'd love to have that game back, and I can do better there. And I'll certainly look at this tape and I'll say the same thing. Like, I can do things better, but look at some things to say that I did well. So I think overall it's having the same mentality and staying constant. I would say that is something that Drew does really well, and I had the unique opportunity to see him do that all season last year. And so he's been a great mentor.
When you know the punt fake is coming, what goes through your mind?
Get the first down. You know, I think as a player, like, you dream of those situations. I know it's a preseason game, but to be able to go out and add value and to keep the chains moving and give Drew the ball again, it just makes us really, really tough to beat when you can steal possessions that way. So I know that if we get the first down, we'll continue to call fakes. And so that was really my mindset. And, you know, I know the coaches, and I think everyone here knows Coach Payton's aggressive, and I think Coach Westhoff and Coach Banta share that same mentality.
The 2-2s, were they both pure options, and what did you see on those there?
The first one definitely was an option. You know, San Diego played it pretty well. I think they saw it, you know, in the preseason. They ended up crashing the end, and the backer spilled. And so we read the keys and crashed. I pulled it, and I was able to make a guy miss and get in the end zone. The second one was more of, hey, let's run the ball here. But I think when you have that threat, if you see it, the contained player came up the field, which allowed Boston Scott to split him and run through an arm tackle and convert. So just keeping the defense on their toes and giving them different looks helps us be effective.
Were things slower for you today? Did it seem a little more calm out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always nice to be able to get on the field in some capacity before you go and take over, and I think that certainly helped playing special teams and getting the feel for the game, being able to look at the defensive structure and what they're doing, how they're going to play us by watching Drew and Tom, and so I think that helped. And look, I think overall we just operated efficiently, and you know, last week we made some mistakes, and that I personally need to be better at. But I thought overall, you know, the game, the offense, and everything's starting to come.
Were you getting deeper into your reads at all? It seemed like on that first touchdown run, you kind of looked at everybody before.
Yeah. I mean, they did a good job there. They covered everything pretty well, and as I was working through my progression, you know, as a quarterback and as a dual threat guy, you know that you're always the last option. And so as I scanned the field and broke contain, I was still trying to get the ball in the end zone, and nothing came open. And when you get man-to-man coverage, you know, those guys are locked in on their guys, and they oftentimes forget about you, and that's what happened.
I'll say the last option. Was there ever a temptation to go like early though when you see a screen there or something? You know.
I think, yeah. Look, I think there are defensive looks that are more conducive for a quarterback to run the ball, and if you see that, I think sometimes it's difficult to not do that when you know you can get a big gain. But overall, I think, you know, my mindset is let's stick to what our play is. Let's let the play run the course and work through your progression. And I think overall, as a quarterback, your job is to make sure bad things don't happen. And so if they cover play, then make them pay by using your feet.
I don't know if
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. I think there's certainly a time and a place to go for two. I can think back to last season we were playing Washington Redskins where we needed a big 2-point conversion, and so that was a ton of really good practice. We got a lot of really valuable reps of doing that. So it was good for our football team. Thanks, guys.